All right. So, yeah, did I say I did the
To
Squidward voice?
your companions?
There's less to keep up with in terms of trying to retain a construct of perfection because of how chaotic and dumbed down and mediocre all this shit has become. And I say we use that to our advantage. And so basically, the chronology is not as important as it was before, you know? And because we can kind of bypass the chronology to a certain extent, what I think about when I think about my future in regards to the thrill of the actuality, I try to place as much emphasis on chronology as I can because I feel like that's me being mature. But the vibe is that it's me and then there's a syndicate in place. I'm running the fucking Yakuza, you know? And that's just the vibe. And it's really more about me being a loner with a partner and then maybe partners and then minions. And that's the vibe. And the chronology of the shit is second to the vibe that we're shooting for. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Right? Um, with great power comes great responsibility. With less power comes less responsibility. And it's like I'm fucking anti Spider-Man out this bitch today. You feel me? With less power comes sorry, Uncle Ben. With less power comes less responsibility, and I'm making use of that because y'all have forced me to. Right? All right. So, everybody's just gonna keep showing their ass, and I know this because I've been to public school. I know it don't seem like. I mean, I don't know what it seems like, but like, I think it's a very sound. Like, I have experience in this. Like, I have credentials. I know what this is. I've been to public school, and the time that I was in public school in regards to the children are our future bullshit. Not that it's bullshit, but like in regards to the children being our future, I think it's like I have a fucking resume, fam. It's legitimate. It's humble, but it's also really legitimate. Motherfuckers is just gonna keep showing their ass. You feel me? I don't hate, but I do know he's just gonna keep showing his ass. It's just gonna keep showing his ass. You feel me? Anybody, any of these people, they're just gonna keep showing their ass. And that's it. It's not about vilifying anybody. Motherfuckers is just gonna keep showing their ass. That's what we doing. This is America, dog. You feel? This is America, doggy. Motherfuckers just gonna keep showing their ass. So it's not to like vilify anybody. It's just like, I mean, I chose specifically because it's as definitive of a villain as I can find. He's as definitive of a villain as I can find. But it's like, really? It's like, yeah, dog. Yeah, man. But like, um, let me think. Uh, um, so for me, it's the For me, it's the thrill of the actuality, right? From there, I feel like it's like we're selling ourselves security, right? I feel like from there, it's like I spent so long, I'm just sound so victim-y, but I spent so long in a bubble of romanticism stemming from black culture that it just feels weird to be outside of it now. And it's like, whoa, now that I'm outside of it, it's like, I'm pretty flexible. It's kind of like if my mom want to go out to a restaurant and eat, I'm going to go with her. And it's going to be like, I'm happy to serve in your army, ma'am. Whether I know you, whether I've known you my whole life or I barely know you, I'm happy to serve in the army. It's kind of what shit is like for me. That's the type of go with the flow nigga I am. Like, that's why we probably get along as much as we don't. It's like, because I'm sure that's how y'all are. And it's just like, but it's real shit that we dealing with at the same time. You feel me? In fantasy world. I know it's real shit y'all dealing with in the real world, and I don't even understand why y'all would junk that up. I don't know why y'all would fuck that up and make that complicated. Not ease your way into that, but like that's not my jurisdiction. That's y'all jurisdiction. What are y'all doing? All I could do is ask from a distance. What are y'all doing? In fantasy world, it's like, bro, I thought that's why you brought me in. I thought you brought me in for fantasy world. What's wrong with you? You feel me? So I think it's kind of like, I don't know. I think the point of the conversation is to kind of try to figure out a semblance of priority. But we've had this conversation so many times, and I feel like I'm just kind of like psyching myself out as an intellectual. I'm open to that, but like I'm still having a conversation. So I think it's branding and franchising. I just don't know what's practical in terms of development. Fair enough. So you got to, and then you have a concept of branding and franchising without a knowledge of what is practical in terms of development. That's our issue. That's our crossroads right now, right? One may say, fuck what's practical. What do you want? I want what's practical. Let that sizzle in your spirit. You feel me? I want what's practical. I want an iteration of what's practical. I think. You feel me? I think I want an iteration of what's practical. So, because I don't have an extensive knowledge on what is practical in regards to development within branding and franchising, we talk about the sports thing, and we talk about stadiums, and we talk about names, and we talk about contractual obligation, and we talk about, really what I think is important that other people won't catch, which I think is what ends up being the most relevant conversation, is like, what have motherfuckers not thought about that I can add to the conversation? I don't think motherfuckers have thought about rapid development. I don't think motherfuckers have thought about, we gonna make all of these alterations within the span of 2 to 5 years, and then we're gonna be done with it. I don't think motherfuckers have thought about a play like that. So I just kind of try to base shit around that, but I don't know how practical that is. So it's only so I don't get too far into basing shit around that because I don't know how practical of a thing that is. This is the same shit that I'm talking about coming up in my culture where it's like I'm not as invested as I could have been because I never got that far. I've just never gotten in far enough. You feel me? Like I just don't know, fam. What the fuck? Help me help you. You feel me on some Jerry Maguire shit. Fuck. You know? So, yeah. Yeah. Um, institution. Incentive. Once you pass a certain age, legacy, I'm sure, becomes your only incentive. Can you sell the incentive of legacy to your quote unquote stars, to your peeps? Can you sell the incentive of legacy to your peeps? Um, you know what's though? You know what's fucking irreplaceable? The demand that is created from somebody truly being scared and or desperate. It doesn't matter what age they are. It doesn't matter where they are in their life. It doesn't matter what it is they're dealing with. It's like basic horror movie shit. There is something about the desperation and the fear and the supply, the demand that creates. Am I a genius or what? This is where the conversation had to go. This is the sweet spot we was looking for. Y'all don't think it is. I assure you, I fucking do this. This is it. We done found the fucking megalodon and shit, right? Like, this is it. So, peep game. Within competition, friendly, unfriendly, caveman, life, substantiation, maturity, right? That wasn't in order. It's just ballpark estimate of ideas, just to put them on the table, right? Themes and shit, if you will, and whatnot. There really isn't much of a sturdy system of competition today. I have tried to derive a soul within the prior soul, within black culture specifically, and potential within black culture specifically. My parents' generation, for some reason, feel like it is a feat to accomplish to tell me that they can keep everybody at bay on the basis of something like fucking public school. And we can completely emit or omit. Is it omit or emit? It's omit. We can completely omit black cultural potential from the equation despite these people not being bad people. Because they're fucking clueless and they're fucking oblivious when it comes to the same thing that they're selling, which is passion. That's not surprising to me. My parents' generation seem to think that that is something to prove and that is something to do. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Seems like a waste of time to me. I already knew that. I'm still trying to help them. I'm still trying to believe in something more, trying to prove to me that that's how shit can go down. I just don't understand what that does for anything that we're collectively trying to build. It's like, no, but I really love the color blue. On some it's just like, all right, okay, all right. And you just accept that that's who this person is, right? It's like a pedophile. It's like, all right, man, that's your thing. All right. It's just your thing. All right, you got it. Okay. You know, have fun. You know, it's the drought 3. Welcome, have fun. You know. Anyway, so real shit. I don't know. I don't get it, but there is something about the demand that is created through genuine desperation and fear, or fear, either or. I don't need it like a serial killer needs it. Fucking Dexter Morgan had ass. It's like, oh Lord, do I have to drive the knife into his heart and then I get my relief? Fuck you. What? Fucking faggot. Yeah. Fucking pedophile. What's wrong with you? You feel me? No, but I was born in a mom got murdered in it. Listen, you bugging out, my nigga. You feel me? Surprise, motherfucker. You feel me? Nah, but real shit. We were talking about thrill of actuality. And look, we've arrived at the demand created by genuine fear and or desperation. For me, it stems from competition. It stems from a construct of competition and survival. More so competition than survival. It's like I can get pretty fucking stupid. You know? Just like the drug users. Like I can fit right in, you know? More competition than survival. But or I guess, you know, even the drug dealers in that regard. You know, drug dealers are like drug users in a certain regard. You know? It's fucking apples, oranges, you know? Um um what is our foundation for a genuine sense of fear? Let's ask ourselves. Let's convene. What is our foundation for a genuine sense of fear? I think it's familiarity. What I'm taught is how to reach an end goal in regards to a full decommissioning of a person in a certain regard based on disorienting them beyond a certain extent. Right? I don't think that's what we're fishing for, though. I don't think that's what we're fishing for here. It's completely irrelevant to say, I want you broke. I want you to lose money until you're broke. I want you to lose money until your money is That's not what we're fishing for. We're fishing for, I want you to be stuck within a cycle. Think about me with the kidney stone. I want you to be stuck in a cycle of a lack of familiarity. Indefinitely, in a way that feeds my machine. It's not about decommissioning you. It's about salvaging your reaction to feed my machine. It's about salvaging your reaction to feed my machine. Sounds a lot like sex, right? It's about salvaging your reaction to feed my machine. People think that that's a civil pastime. As a black boy, I'm sure my dad can attest to this. I think they're fucking loco, ese. I'm like, for you to think that that's a civil pastime, and I don't have a BMW i8, for you to think that that's a civil pastime and you haven't paid your dues, it makes you, from a fantasy standpoint, the same thing as a black boy. You know, which I feel like is a very cheap thing to say intellectually, but it's just like within the frame of the fantasy, it fits. You know, like it's a fair enough statement. It gets the point across. You know, real soprano shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't think it's a civil pastime. And that's really the big difference between me and everybody else. It's like, I'm not a kid anymore. You're not my friend. I'll be with for the rest of my life. That is not my friend. She might be nice as hell. She could be my friend later. She is not my friend right now. You understand what the fuck it is I'm saying? I'm a fucking adult, dog. Like, I'm not playing these fucking games with y'all. This bitch is not my friend, dog. Y'all are not my friend, fam. Like, in terms of me having a job to do, in terms of me being my best self, in terms of the shit that I was raised on. So, y'all are not my friend. I ain't got no friends in this bitch, for real, for real. Y'all are my friend by way of social aptitude. I feel like I sound like shit now, because he just be talking like, it's not this, but it's this. And you get it. You feel me? It's just some simple shit, but it's like, y'all not my friend, but y'all are my friend. Y'all my friend by way of social aptitude, because I know what the properties of friendship have been via social aptitude. So y'all are my friend via that, but y'all are not my friend via we're really splitting hairs here, but it's like a genuine friendship. Y'all are not my friend via advanced friendship. You feel me? Basic friendship, maybe. Advanced friendship, no. Right? And so it's just to say, like, listen, there is no civil pastime of doing what it is I'm talking about. And so essentially the argument falls apart. Their argument falls apart, and they just don't know they have an argument that would fall apart. Right? We could talk about tolerance, you know, because do I need the fear? Do I need the desperation? No, I just like it. I told y'all I just recently learned how to metabolize negativity, right? It's not a thing of how do we make it a positive trudge within what I grew up on. That went out the window. And then slowly after, I learned how to swim underwater even more with some fucking gills. And it's like I can now metabolize negativity. I don't need it. And because I don't need it, you know, the more mature conversation is like, well, how do I tolerate motherfuckers that don't understand that this is not a civil pastime? Right? And I guess a question would be, I don't know if it's the question, a question would be, to what extent can you tolerate, like, just living with that being, like to me it's a question, but to y'all it might be the question, right? Real like police officer shit. It's the question. To what extent can you tolerate motherfuckers feeling as though that's a civil pastime? And that's the only question. And you live your life in the margin of that, and you know, check yourself off of a list as a good person, and that's it. Right? Um I can't believe in it, you know? That's the issue. The biggest issue is not really a thing of I can tolerate it. Obviously I can tolerate it. I just can't believe in it. And I'm an artist. So that's really the issue. The issue is I can't believe in your assertion that this is a civil pastime. It's word of granny. Feel what I'm saying? And that's the of the situation. That's how we finally arrive at and crack the code on this shit. You feel me? I don't crack the code on this shit. You feel me? I need to be able to believe in your assertion that this is a civil pastime. So that's the let the games begin.